All right. So today's video is going to be about I named it Project Atlas, and what it's going to be about is how I plan on making 30K in a single month. Originally, I was gonna name this how I plan making 30K in 6 months. Within 6 months, make 30K. But now, right? So the goal is to make a 30K month. I visualize enough where in the month of December, in 21 days, I'm going to make my stripe is going to say 30K plus whatever it is, but it's going to be 30K on December 21st. And okay, so Project Atlas. What is Project Atlas? I've changed it to how can I become the person that is able to consistently make 30K in a month, right? Because we do not achieve our goals, we achieve the person whose minimum standard is that goal that we're trying to achieve. So we're trying to achieve a character, not a goal. So the question is, who do I need to become? I've deduced this down to three things, which is mentors, motivations, and then the metrics. So first, the mentors. The mentors are like Carl Jung would say, is your golden shadow. These are the people who I look up to because I like certain characteristics that I want them in myself. So on this timeline axis, whatever you want to call it, right? We have Charlie Morgan, Alex Hormozy, and Hamza. And the reason why I've chosen these three is because there's aspects of them that I want. Like on one side of the axis, we have Charlie Morgan, who is like a technical business wizard. I would say he's a business wizard. He has like all the technical, he's very good at sales, articulating, like when it comes to business, he's like very fucking good at it. And I want to emulate almost everything from his business. And on the other side of the spectrum, we have Hamza. Hamza is not necessarily like the smartest intellectually, he's not the smartest, he's not the smartest business wise, but I really like his personality. He's very funny, and socially, he's very charismatic and he's very good socially. And then on the middle, we have Alex Ramosi, and he's like kind of in the middle. He's also like a technical business wizard, but he's also like very social, very charismatic. And those, like, I guess you could say three, four things that I want to integrate myself. Right, is one being like very good at business, but in this aspect, I'm trying to be good at sales. I'm trying to become like very persuasive, have very good communication, be charismatic, and just be someone who's respected. Which I'll tie into more motivations, right? So the thing about motivations is that I want in the beginning it's all these surface levels motivations. I want to radically change myself. I want to level up. I want to become this next level, next version of me. And I also want to be I want to be my own man. I want to be able to support my family financially. I want to become like the main breadwinner of the family. I want my family to be fully taken care of and they don't need to worry about money. And I also want to be able to live by myself. I've been living with my parents for I'm 25 right now and I want to be able to move out. I want the ability to know that I can move out anytime. I don't know necessarily if I will, but I want the ability to know that I have the cash to be able to move out to any apartment that I want. Not any apartment, but just an apartment that I want, you know? But then if you go one layer deeper, to integrate my shadow into this is that I want to be my own man, right? I want to be a man that is respected. I want to be a man that other people could respect. I want to command respect. I want to stand for something. I want to stand up for myself. And I want my word to mean something. And this is me trying to go like six, seven, 8 layers deep, trying to be able to how can I fully align myself with my goals and be true to myself and I'm not lying to myself. Like these three up top are service level motivation. It's something that I would say to other people. Oh, I want to be financially independent. I want to support my family. I want to change. I want to do something new. This is like stuff I would tell to other people. But then we go deeper down, like down the iceberg is when we integrate the shadow. When we learn about my also where I learned about my shadow, and now I'm about to integrate my shadow is that I want to be someone who's well respected. And the question I've asked myself is that to level up is how much pain are you willing to endure? And I've thought about this a lot. And I'm willing to endure so much pain, sacrifice so much to become the next level version of myself. Right? Every day I'm asking myself, are you willing to endure more pain? How much pain are you willing to endure? And I tell myself, I can endure more. I could do more. I could take on more. Pain, pain, pain. I love it. Right? And then now we get to like the math of it, right? The metrics. So my goal is right to have a 30K month, and I'll be charging 2K a month, so I would need 15 clients. And I've been following Charlie's like very metrics, his metrics, and doing also very conservative metrics. With a 15% close rate, I would need 100 good fit calls. With a 60% good fit rate, I would sorry, right 2K a month, 15 clients is with a 15% close rate, I would need 100 good fit calls. Right, meaning good fit calls is like people who actually that we can help. And if we have a 60% good fit rate, I would have 167 show ups. I would need 167 people to show up on the call. And with a 60% show up rate, I would need to book about 278 appointments. And with a 1% appointment booking rate, I would need to dial 28,000 times. Yeah, my main outreach method is uh, cold calling. I'm not going to name my niche, and I'm not going to show my script because I cooked up a script. Like it took me 2 hours. I cooked up this script, and I'm very happy. But it's right there. I'm going to write it down, type it. It's like fully memorize it. I'm going to dream about this script because I think I've cooked a fantastic script, and I think this script is going to like print money. Genuinely think I think this script is going to print. Anyways, so the thing is, right? So I'm gonna be taking Sundays off. Sundays is my lead gen day. Is that I'm spending all day to get like roughly 1,000 leads, like 1,000 to 2,000, 3,000 leads. I'll talk about more about it later. But the thing is, right? So I had the 28,000 leads. Take out the Sundays, comes out to 156 days, which is roughly about $180 per day. But I want this to become a no-brainer. I want my the goal to be absolutely inevitable. Like I said, I'm willing to endure more pain. I don't care. I'm willing to upfront as much pain as possible so I could cash it in later. Right, as Charlie says, you need the bank of suffering. So I'm willing to endure a lot more pain. And I've thought about how can I make this a no-brainer. The no-brainer is obviously more volume, and so the minimum standard is going to be $300 a day. So I've done $100. $100 takes me roughly 2 to 3 hours, depending of like people answer and how much I'm talking on the phone. It takes around 2 to 3 hours. I took the minimum 2 hours, so $300 should take around 5 to 7 hours, and that's like a whole working day. And I'm trying to make 300 as the minimum standard. I'm going to show later on how I'm going to push this, but 300 is that minimum standard that I'm going to achieve. And my goal, I'll talk about it a little later, but obviously the main priority is to close 3 to 5 clients so I could get a lead gen software that can, find the leads, enrich the leads. I could get the name, number, and all this stuff. And one, I could spend less time on a Sunday uh, doing lead gen, right? I could probably even call on a Sunday too at that point. And then the second thing I'm trying to get is a power dialer. With a power dialer, I'm not sure how many calls I could do at once, but I don't know. Maybe I could do like 1,000 calls in a day in the 8 hours. Who knows? I don't know. So the first thing I want to talk about is this concept of shuhari. And when I learned this concept, it's like it kind of like blew my mind. It gave me like such a whole new epiphany. And so what shuhari is a concept. It's a philosophical concept for martial. It's a Japanese concept for martial arts, a mastery martial arts. So shu is basically do exactly what as the master says. Wax like Mr. Miyagi, you wax on, wax off. You do exactly what the master says. Don't question it. Don't even think about it. Do as you're told. Then let's begin to the next level. Ha. Ha is you begin to. It's like the so at this point the lessons or the rules are fully ingrained in your head. You could do as you sleep. In Ha, is it you begin to see the lessons and what they're trying to teach you, and you're able to point out the mistakes of other people. You may not be able to teach other people at this level yet, but you're able to see the mistakes so you can know the what and the how, but maybe not the why. That's the thing. And with Re, it is like a step closer to mastery. This is kind of mastery is where you learn the rules and you learn the guidelines and you learn the principles. You like not avoid the mistakes, but you know the mistakes. You know why the mistakes happen, and you're able to correct the mistakes of yourself and other people. So now at this point, you're able to come up with your own principles, your own rules, and rules and guidelines that you can follow. Like you're able to bend and break the rules. There's a quote I think Chris Williamson said it is that to play the game, you need to learn how to play the game by the rules, and then once you learn how to play by the rules, that's when you could break the rules or bend the rules. That's the thing. Otherwise, if you initially start playing the game with different rules, you're playing a whole different game, right? That's the whole like mindset behind this. Is first learn the rules from someone who has already been in the game, learn the rules, understand the rules, and then you'll be able to once you know the rules, understand it, that's when you could be able to bend it and break it and come up with your own principles and guidelines. And the way I'm going to like follow this is like for Shu, I'm gonna be following like sales tactics of like Charlie Morgan, Alex Hormozy. I have Daniel G, Jeremy Miner, Jordan Planet, David Choi. I have a whole list right here of YouTube channels I'm going to study all of their like older video. I'm talking about the older videos of sales content, everything. On my Instagram, it's literally filled with just objection handling videos. On my YouTube, it's curated just purely business and sales content now. So it's like when I open my YouTube, even if I have the extension, where is it, unhooked. So even if I hide the YouTube feed or I don't hide it, it's just gonna be all business or sales content. So there's no entertainment, nothing like that. It's just all sales content. And then hot is when especially on Instagram, because on Instagram there's a lot of like newer business people who are uploading videos of like themselves cold calling or their sales calls. I can review that, even review my own tape, review others people's tapes, and learn. I might not be able to explain why they did something wrong or why this did this or did that, but I'll be able to point out like, oh, this is what he did. This is like he did said this to do this to try to get this sort of outcome, but then I won't be able to explain why that happened. But that's how I'm also like reading right here. I'm literally reading this. Oh shit. I have I have a whole lot of books that are coming and that I have to learn more about persuasion, communication, all that stuff. And then I'll understand sales, persuasion, communication, right? I'll be able to explain the why behind the what and the how. And then obviously mastery, like obviously I'll be able to, obviously create my own rules, create my own guidelines, create my own scripts, right? And be able to create my own sort of sales principles, right? And then mastery is like whenever I test this, I see what works, what doesn't work, and I'm able to teach other people about the what, how, and why, especially, right? So actually, let's first talk about this, the timeline. So with the Shuhari principles or concept, I've broken down these 180 days into three 60-day segments, right? So one, two, three, the three 60-day segments. So on the first day is a Shu. Well, in full transparency, I don't think I'm gonna reach in 180 days. There's no way, because like with this whole skill acquisition matrix I stole from Brandon Carter, it's such a genius idea. It's about the 10,000 hour principle rule, and he figured out that at 100 hours, like you're not bad, you're not bad, but at 1,000 hours, that's when you get good at something, and then obviously 2,000 and 5,000 hours, that's when you get really fucking good. And then obviously 10,000 hours is like that golden rule. That 10,000 hour rule is when you become one of the best. And if obviously if I do 2 hours a day, it's gonna take too long to get 100 hours. So my goal is to be able to reach that 300 dial every day. So because I take roughly 6 hours a day, and under 3 weeks, I'm able to get to the 100 hours instantly. And within 3 weeks, 100 hours, I've gone through the suck. I've gone through the pain. I can handle rejections. I have some sort of like semblance of what to say to objections. I know I'm used to like talking, speaking on the phone, and then within the 180 days, that's when I get good at it. That's the whole point of these 6 months, is to radically change my beliefs and who I am, so I'm able to become good. I become good enough. Simple as that. Just become good enough at it, because most people suck. Most people fucking suck. As long as you're good enough and you're better than your competitors and the next person, that's all you need to be. Is just good enough. So the way I'm split this down, these 180 days, like the Shuha read 3 segments. So in the first 60 days is I'm completely immersing myself into like the world of sales, like I said, with the YouTube videos, IG objection handling reels. I have books here. Let me show you my list. Nope. This. Like I've already read Thinking Fast and Slow, Descartes' Errors. I read the Book of Five Rings. That's kind of irrelevant, but I liked it. Psycho Cybernetics. I read Persuasion. I have Influence. I have Laws of Human Nature. These 4 books I've ordered right now. I have a list of 30 books that I'm going to read within the 60 days, and there's also another 30 books that I want to finish by the end of the year, but I'm not sure yet. I have a list of 30 books I'm going to finish within 60 days, and like I'm going to immerse myself in sales. I need to sleep sales, dream about sales. Every only thing on my mind is sales, right? I need to have the lens of have the lens and the like perception of sales. Everything that filters through my mind has to be in the realm of sales. That's the whole concept of immersing myself into this. Like the idea is like when you go to a whole new country, the language you don't speak of. For example, if I went to Brazil and I don't speak Portuguese, if I spend like 60 days in within Brazil, I could learn the language so fast because I'm fully immersed with it. I have to talk to people, I have to find housing, food, water. So I need to fully immerse myself into this world to be able to fully understand like the knowledge, the language, all this sort of stuff. And obviously in here I'm going to be doing less dialing because I'm trying to immerse myself into the world first. That's the first point, is immersing myself, and obviously still do dialing. I'm not gonna not dial because I need to get to the 100 hours right here. Like even 2 hours a day at these first 60 days. I've already went through the pain. I've already went through the suck. I've already done my 100 hours, and boy, these 100. I've only done 300 dials. And fuck, man, I've done 50. So it's 50 days in a week. 50 dials every day for a week, 300 dials, and fuck, man, it sucks, bro. That means I've only done an hour, so I've only hit 6 hours. So I'm not even close to the 100 hours. I haven't fully dealt with the pain, but fuck. Anyways, so the next 60 days is coming up. So the goal for at least for the first 60 days, obviously learn as much as possible and hopefully land a client. Hopefully, if I could somehow stumble across my way to land a single client, I think I should. I could probably land 2 or 3 clients because I have trust in myself. I think I can do it. But one client, I'll take one client. I'll be so fucking happy by September if I get one client. I'll be so happy. And then the next 60 days, like September and October, is I have the client, I have a testimonial. Now we ramp it up a bit. We do more dials, test some stuff, see what works, what doesn't work, trying to understand the process of go that goes into creating a script, right? So now I understand the rules, I understand persuasion, communication, sales, like all these different things that goes into like talking, speaking. Now I'm going to that's where the ha comes in, is learning what other people are doing, seeing the mistakes and seeing my mistakes and how I could like in incorporating the scientific method into this, right? Testing, coming up with a hypothesis, testing it, seeing the outcome, seeing the result, what went right, what went wrong, fixing what went wrong, why did this go right, and how can we change the wrong into something right? Coming up with a new hypothesis, right? Constantly testing, 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 and I put 300 dollars. That's where I'm gonna be testing 300 dollars a day. I might go more. I'm not sure yet. Cause if I can do more, why not do more? But the minimum is 300. That's the thing. 6 hours, 300. And at this point, at the end of these 120 days, I'm over 400 hours at this point. I might, if I do more, probably hit 500 hours. But at this point, definitely over 400 hours. And then for the last 60 days, I said, you know what? Fuck it. fuck it, we go fucking full throttle. And this is where we go all out. November, December, a lot of companies, this is Q4, a lot of companies are spending hella money on ads. I might as well just go all fucking in, all in. And it's not gonna be roughly 52 days. I think it's gonna be less. I think it's gonna be 40 days because I said all of November, November 30th, and then 21 days of December. So it's like 48 or something like that. So it's gonna be a lot less. But like that's where I'm gonna hit the 1,000 hours right there. Is within these 100 days, I've already did my 1,000 hours, and this is where I become good enough. So when the next year comes, and the new year comes, either January 2nd or 3rd, whenever that Monday is, I'm going to be good enough, and I'm gonna fucking kill it next year. I'm gonna fucking kill it, bro. I'm gonna fucking kill it. It's like my initial goal was to make 100K within 18 months, but I said, how can I compress that? And I came up with this. So obviously, the skills I need to acquire is persuasion, communication, handling rejections, creating this as a habit, and just mastery over myself. Being able to understand my resistances, um, be able to even handle my own personal objections, right? Any thoughts, feelings I have, and just be able to understand and comprehend like where is this all coming from. And yeah, that's how I plan on becoming the person that is able to make 30K a month. And this is gonna be a rough journey. It's gonna be a long journey. It's gonna be a fun journey. It's gonna be a painful journey for sure. It's gonna be a lot of painful journey. It's gonna be very painful, but it's gonna be fun. That's the thing. I'm very excited to do this. I'm very excited to tackle this on, and all I wish is for more pain. But remember, good luck and have fun.